Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. On the microphone, morning. I just want the microphone, morning, morning. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. This world is getting so cold. I wanna keep running like a soldier. Somebody must have touched my soul, cause there ain't no stopping till it's over. I wanna get up out my chair, cause everybody's getting so lazy. Don't want nobody touch my hair, cause a lot of sisters acting too crazy. And them not tough like this, rough like this, and them not nice like this. Some can't take it when you talk true sense. Rather hear the words that glorify nonsense. Yes, and I got my brain, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone who's precious. You're never gonna get my love, accepting that you're real precious. You're never gonna cramp my style, baby, cause I get a lot of pleasure. And if you wanna test my style, you better have a whole lot of measure. Cause I'm a rock back chick, never tag along the never look back chick. Trendy, a little crazy, intelligently singing rock back chick. No sticks,
good morning, it's 7 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show. We're coming to you live here from the Port Mall in Scarborough. I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Rhea Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to you, Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning to those of you viewing us on the live as well as in the Caribbean. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you, Julian.
Good morning, Rhea. Good morning, Rhea. It's a great day. It's a great day. It's great energy in 2022.
You know what happened? I think we both got some rest.
Oh, yes.
And I think we're ready to go. We're raring to go. And yeah, it's going to be a good day.
And that was definitely a plus for us there in the mix, Rhea. Rhea, do we have any birthday shout-outs this morning?
Definitely.
I'm told you have some special birthdays in the lineup.
Special birthdays in the lineup. So this morning, my mother-in-law, Miriam George, is celebrating her birthday. She's fondly known by her children now and grandchildren as Mimi. Miriam George of Lowlands, Tobago. Happy birthday. Love going out to you from the entire George McNeil. She's Miriam McNeil George from the entire George McNeil clan. Happy birthday and lots of love going out to you. As well, Mrs. Iris Parker, fondly known as Mother Parker, celebrates her 100th birthday today. Mother Parker is the matriarch of the Parker's trading family, if you're familiar with Tobago. She celebrates her 100th birthday, and Mother Parker, I understand, did business with my grandfather many years ago in Trinidad, who was the owner of Little Goose Stores, corner Prince and Henry Street. Okay, Mother Parker did business with him many, many years ago. So I love going out to Mother Parker from the Richardson family, from the Little Goose clan. I'm one of the little geese. Okay.
It's a big kind of connection happening there.
It's a big kind of connection. As well as my brother, Noel Alexander. Noel is celebrating his birthday today. So Noel, we love you. Happy birthday going out to you, and we have a really great day.
All right. I also want to send birthday shout-outs to Anisha Crooks. Good morning and happy birthday to Anisha Crooks. And also sending out birthday greetings this morning to Star Roberts. Good morning, Star. We trust that you all have an enjoyable day. Birthday shout-outs also going out to former Assemblyman Huey Cadet. Good morning and happy birthday to you. As well as Che Cummins out there in Grenada. Good morning and happy birthday coming to you from the Tobago Updates family. Rihanna, rundown this morning.
Just before we get to the rundown, we need to take the opportunity this morning to send out condolences to Schumer Mills Surrett. Schumer's mom passed away, and she is from Buku. Christine Mills Roberts, who passed away just a couple days ago. So we take the opportunity, and for those of you who don't know who Schumer is, she is the manager of the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society located in Trinidad, but she does a lot of work here in Tobago with, well, as it relates to cancer and children with cancer. So, you know, condolences going out to you, Schumer, and God's peace and His strength for you at this time.
We also had the passing, you know, nationally, the nation, you know, has been shocking to mourning yet again for the passing of the Trinidad and Tobago 400-meter sprinter, Dion Lindor, that would have been, you know, killed in a car crash in Texas this morning. So, of course, we want to send out condolences to the entire track and field family out there.
Yes.
And I know he would have ably represented us at the Olympics and in terms of even in Tokyo most recently and so on. So we definitely want to send out our condolences. All right, this morning on our rundown, Ria.
On the rundown
Ria,
this morning.
I'm told we have a heavy roller in the mix.
Definitely.
He joins the likes of Godwin Adams, Sheldon Cunningham. And you know what's common among those men?
Yes.
People that have unseated a political leader. In our lineup this morning, we begin with Assemblyman Nigel Tate, Assistant Secretary in the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development.
And coming up just after him, we will be chatting with Ricardo Alfred, Maritime Surveyor and Marine Engineer, as we focus on the Sea School for our fisher folk.
All right. We also chat this morning with Curtis Douglas, President of the All Tobago Fisherfolk Association, continuing to look at, in fact, he'll be treating with this morning what we really want. So we look forward to hearing about that from Curtis Douglas.
And then we close things off this morning with Shana Conningham, who is a YouTube influencer and author. And she'll be speaking on Inspired Journal Guide for 2022.
All right. So, folks, that's it there in our lineup for this morning. We want to continue to remind you and to thank all of you joining us online as well as via TV. Remember, for those of you joining us online, to share the live, share the live, share the live.
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards.
Welcome to Tobago Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms as
remains when
the public is
nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Spearside's marine
in Tobago fishermen.
When will the
Sion
Roxborough
Francis
Hospital be fully functional?
of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window at the islands
treasures like the Golden
continue
Waterfall
to rise in Tobago.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tapago. Your meals, medication, groceries and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tapago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tapago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tapago's at your service.
To all Tobagonians and visitors of this beautiful island, the Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is seeking your efforts and support in keeping a clean and organized, friendly environment. In doing so, drop-off bins are located at strategic areas around Tobago for your recyclable materials such as plastics, aluminum and steel cans, glass bottles and tetra packs in bags, and let's protect our environment. Our own Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is here to propel that change. Look for the white bin nearest to your area.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates Morning Show. We are chatting this morning with Assemblyman Nigel Tate. It gives me great pleasure to say that. Assemblyman Nigel Tate, Assistant Secretary for the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. Viewers, this morning we are talking about the THA retreat, the outlook. Good morning and welcome to you, Assemblyman Tate.
Pleasant good morning.
It's a pleasure to have you on our program this morning, and it's a pleasure for me to refer to you this morning as Assemblyman Nigel Tate. You know, viewers, he walked in here this morning looking all crisp. Crisp. I don't think I've ever seen the gentleman look this crisp. But congratulations to you on your new appointment. How has it been thus far?
Well, I must say it is very challenging. Right? We have plenty work to do.
Yeah.
Right? And I am prepared to work. I'm prepared to work hard for the development of Tobago.
Yeah.
Right?
Now, I noticed when, you know, Julian introduced you this morning when we were going through the rundown that he mentioned that you joined the ranks of some good men in terms of unseating, dethroning a chief
a
political leader. But how do you feel about this? Because this was no easy feat. What are your thoughts?
Okay, well, built up to the election, it was plenty hard work. Plenty canvassing. Working both morning, daytime, night. Well, you know, back then we had the curfew up to 10. So it was plenty work. And the team, my canvassing team, kudos to them also. We worked very hard. Yeah. Right? And mostly we were on the ground. Right? And we remained grounded right through. And we're still on the ground.
You're still on the ground.
Yeah,
that's
we maintain it. We want to maintain that.
Okay.
Right? Still render support to everyone.
Okay.
Basically.
All right, let's jump right into things. So you are the Assistant Secretary for the division. Assemblyman, under the leadership of Secretary for the division, Natisha Charles Panton. Just recently, the team, the PDP, came out of a 5-day retreat, and the Chief Secretary, Fali Augustine, listed several items, some of which fall under the ambit of this division. Now, with the recent realignment, what are some of the areas that would fall under your jurisdiction?
Okay, well, basically, fisheries, right? I will be the person who will be doing all the work where fisheries is concerned. Right? I have Mr. Gart Utley, right? I'm prepared to work close with him to bring a better industry and our fisheries.
Okay. All right, so let's talk about some of what was mentioned during that the Chief Secretary mentioned. He mentioned the sea training inclusive of free diving lessons to be made available to fishermen by the Tobago Sea School. Let's talk about some of these things here. How timely is this?
Yeah, well, this is the right time for it, right? Because we have Mr. Ricardo Alfred. He's a marine surveyor, and he will be the person actually will be doing through the process of teaching fishermen or fisher folks the correct procedure, right, while out at sea.
Right.
So I believe that the fishermen really and truly in this time need that type of training.
Yeah. And we've seen instances in the past where fishermen have gone out to sea, some of them have not returned. And we have all of these stories. What are some of the measures that, you know, have been talked, are in the pipelines as it relates to this training? Okay,
well, what we intend to do is to have a training session with all fisher folk, basically all fishermen also. Right, we want to train them about, recently we opened the Castara fishing facility, and we want to train every fisherman to learn how to operate a radio. So just in case you go out at sea and you end up in some form of difficulty, you could always radio land for assistance, as well as having vessels with GPS, so we'll know the exact location, make sure that they have the proper equipment while out at sea.
And this is for all fishermen or only for those who register? Because there's some guys who, I want to buy a boat and I want to go out. So is it that fishermen need to be registered?
Well, let me use this opportunity one time to advise all fishermen. Right? If you're not registered, go and get registered, because we know there are fishermen who actually just go out and they're not registered and they just do their own thing. Right? I will advise all fishermen to go now, register, and be part of this training, because this training here, it is something to save your life. And more so you may be able to help someone else who is out at sea that may need help.
Right.
So the training not only will help you, but it could also help assist someone else who are in danger. So all fishermen.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see that there's work to be done as well on the Little Tobago Jetty.
Yeah.
What sort of work are we talking about?
Well, right now we want to do some reconstruction on the jetty out at Little Tobago, right? And I believe that project's supposed to, well, within the first quarter of this year, work's supposed to start, begin soon.
All right. The Chief Secretary mentioned that, you know, by the end of the first quarter, Tobago to be on its way to becoming the #1 producer of alternative flour in the Caribbean.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, recently, you could hear that flour price going up, right? And right now, we could produce our own flour through cassava and through dashing, right? So if we could put that on one of the major goals for Tobago, for we to be the manufacturer of cassava flour along with dashing flour. Right, okay. So I believe all that is in. Yeah.
So all of this is going to mean that in terms of the production of these ground provisions, cassava and dasheen, that there must be an increase in production. So working along with the farmers as well to grow more dasheen to sustain Tobago and Trinidad and the Caribbean.
Yes, well, what I can say right now is that the Secretary, Ms. Natasha Pantin, who's in charge of natural resources, the environment, and sustainable development, food security, right?
It's a new term, long term. Don't worry, we understand.
Yeah, so I know Ms. Natasha Pantin is on top of the game where that is concerned, because meetings are presently being held and dialogue taking place right now for that industry to be up and running.
Okay, now you realize here, Assemblyman, that the Tobago public is looking, Tobago public is waiting. I mean, I heard Dr. Shane Mohammed mention yesterday on our program that this was the perfect start to the year, perfect start to the term, to your term in office, and this goes to every member of the team. So Tobago is is poised and looking at the plans and looking at how quickly things unfold.
Okay. Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So
what I could say to that also is that the Chief Secretary, Mr. Augustine, also said that you try to deal with the low-hanging fruits, right? The easier work to be done first,
right?
So we could grab at that and start the progress of Tobago within this first quarter.
All right. All right. So we're talking food security. I understand here that the Chief Secretary said that and Secretary for Food Security and the Secretary for Food Security, the Chief Secretary and the area representative for Plymouth to visit the Plymouth Jetty to further assess the issues. And the land surrounding the Plymouth Jetty are privately owned and not the property of the THA.
Yes.
So is it that the persons who are living in and around, what was the issue with the persons who are living in and around?
Okay, let me answer that question straightforward. A meeting supposed to be held, if not today, tomorrow, with the person who actually leased the property in which we are talking about at this present time. So coming out of the meeting, I believe that
we'll have more information.
Tobago will be informed as to the way forward with that. Okay. Our meeting is scheduled today. I think it's today.
Okay. Well, no problem. We want to thank you so much for the time. But just before we go, is there anything that you'd like to say to the public or to the persons who work within your division?
Yes. What I will say is that let us work together to make a better Tobago, right? Tobago have brilliant minds, right? And if we could come together and put all together, trust me, we will make it. We will make it. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for chatting with us this morning. Assemblyman Nigel Tate, Assistant Secretary for the Division of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development. Well, viewers, we've got lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates morning show, and we encourage you this morning to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Good morning, good morning, put a smile on your
John Boy, I got a call and they're asking me to talk to the nation, talk to people and tell them about getting vaccinated. Yeah. I'm not sure if I should or if it's the right thing for me to tell someone to get vaccinated.
Yeah, but you just came out from Tobago.
Yeah, and 3 of my friends passed. And that's when I realized, I really need to say something.
Similarly here, I have an insulin-dependent son, and so I had to get all my kids vaccinated. I didn't have a choice.
I made the choice because of my parents. But the question is, what or who do you love more than yourself for you to make the choice to protect yourself or protect them from you?
Trouble again! Trinidad and Tobago, let's stop the spread of COVID-19. Vaccinate today.
I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards to
Welcome
a top
to Tobago
story.
Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms as
remains when
the public is
nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Spearsides, marine
in Tobago fishermen.
When will the
Sion Francis
hospital be fully functional?
Of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window at the island,
treasures like the golden
continue
waterfall
to rise in Tobago.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. It's 7:22 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show. In this segment, we are chatting with Ricardo Alfred, a maritime surveyor and marine engineer. Good morning, Ricardo.
Yes, good morning.
And I can't hesitate to mention my classmate at Scarborough Secondary School. So we're saying good morning to Scarborough Secondary School alumni out there.
Yes.
Ricardo, so this morning we are chatting about the sea school for our fisher folk. And just to give persons in Tobago a little, a little insight, just tell us briefly about the startup of the sea school itself. Is it something new? Has it been around for some time?
Right, so so Tobago Sea School has been around since 2011. It was the dream of a dear friend and my mentor, Mr. Davidson Hackett. Sadly, he has passed on. The Tobago Sea School, we have done work at the Division of Tourism in terms of providing training for their fishermen. We have did work with the Den Flipcut board, where we had provided some training for the people on the capital of Paradise. So we are no stranger to doing work with the THA. We do provide training for various persons. Actually, one of our mantras really is that an accomplishment is that we compete with all of these schools in Trinidad, especially at UTT. We do provide training overseas. We have done training for persons from Barbados, Curacao. We have actually been overseas doing training. So we are doing a lot of work actually, mostly in Trinidad for certain companies. So we have actually, it's good to be home to do work with the Tobagonians and the local fishermen. That's always a good thing. So we have been around quite some time. We made up of 3 main guys. Myself, we have Kristen Hackett and Karen Brebner. They are 2 locally qualified captains. Actually, they are the youngest captains in this hemisphere. They have unlimited license. My license as well is unlimited, meaning that I can serve on any ship as an engineer right away. So it's also a good thing actually to provide training back home.
So one of the areas we want to go into a little bit more is that the Chief Secretary announced sea training inclusive of free diving lessons to be made available to fishermen by the Tobago Sea School. What's the proposed approach with this in an effort to strive to reach as wide a cross-section of our fishermen in Tobago? And I want you to start on that premise with how important this is based on your experience and your training in the field.
Right, so I have a passion for the maritime industry. There's a new regulation coming. Well, it's already there actually. We are in the consultation process where fishermen must have their vessels registered. Registered means that the local term that we know as TFT, it is not a registration. It is more of a record for fisheries. So the idea is to get their vessels registered, in which they will be surveyed. Certain equipment they would have to have on board. But training is important and the consultation part is also important. So that's where we are at right now in terms of that thing. This type of training will include something called rules of the road. Basically it's a collision regulation. They will be better able to identify certain symbols and certain objects out in the water as to what the dangers are, what they mean. Especially they will be able to deal with the near collision, the safe speed, what to do in an emergency. There are certain things that they have to cover, but all that will be covered by us, and we are going to give back because it's free. It's free for them because my family, my grandfather was a fisherman, his father was a fisherman. We had own fleets of boats actually. It's only my father did not go into the fishing industry. But yeah.
So tell us something. Normally when trainings like these are offered, what's the general response like? Because people tend to say, all right, some fishermen might already be comfortable in terms of how they ply their trade and so on. Is it that they respond favorably in terms of coming out to participate, or there has to be some kind of encouragement and pushing so that they understand the greater benefit of having this kind of training?
Right,
What's the experience been like?
So at Tobago Sea School, we have trained all walks of life. We have trained businessmen, men who own boats, people in Trinidad, as I said. We have trained persons. Actually, we are the only school in Trinidad and Tobago to actually do training in a non-English speaking country. So the fishermen, we have trained a lot of fishermen. Some of them did something like launch captains. Some of them did their pre-sea training through us. Pre-sea training is just basic safety training where they are taught a bit of medical, crowd control, basic seamanship, and how to deal with a fire and emergency on board ship. So we have, I have had contacts with some of the fishermen who want some of the training. So I know it's the fishermen are. I mean, I don't see them as fishermen. They are seafarers involved in the fishing trade. So I want them to see themselves as that, really. That's what they are, seafarers.
So how do these fishermen, for those who may be tuned in or families that are tuned in this morning, how do they access the program? Contact information, follow up the registration process, or is there a prospective date as to when that is likely to get off the ground?
Right, so we will be meeting with the Fisheries Division, and they will have a contact for all the various associations. And the association will have contact for their members. So we will have the consultation with the various associations, and we were guided by who their members are and that stuff.
All right, so that we can look forward naturally. So to remind persons, you can follow up with your association. Yes. Ricardo, in the last few minutes of this interview, I also want to chat about the fact that you have not only limited your work and exposure to the Tobago space here, but you have also taken the opportunity to put out there some national representation, particularly in these times with the number of restrictions that have been out there in the maritime. Just give us a little sense about, the importance of what you have been advocating for.
Right, so I'm very close to the Reef Tour Association, guys. I mean, I do work on their boat. I do survey their boats. They are guided by an act called the Motor Launch Act. So there are certain requirements that they must have. But I do have a bit of a soft side for them. So what I did, I had actually written to the Minister of Health, along with his staff, to ask for tours to be put under safe zone. The comparison I made is that you are allowing these water parks and other entities to happen in Trinidad, whereas the same can be done in Tobago for these tours, I did not get a response from him, so I had actually written to the Prime Minister. That was in December, sometime in December, early up in December. I still has not received a response, but the idea behind it is that if we can allow these tours to be under what the government term a safe zone, and the government will actually set whatever criteria or whatever guidelines they want, it can be done. The guys are ready in terms of their sanitation practices, they are ready in terms of their vaccines, and they're ready, they have to make an income. So I understand their plight, and that is the representation that I have made.
And why I found it interesting is because particularly yesterday we had an interview with Frankie's Tours, and he was making the point that while we're happy for grants or handout from the government, we want to be able to do our business. Yes. That only takes us so far. And somebody else will think, oh, they're happy to just sit down and receive money. But he's sending a clear message that for them it's much more than that, and they have taken the necessary steps. Can we see that in this time, given your efforts through the Prime Minister and the Ministry, that we will see you attempting, given that we have a new administration in place, to take it up in an effort to really put forward a Tobago case as to why this is important?
Yes. I am willing to go as far as to whatever it is, because there are reasons and there are grounds as to why they can go under safe zone. I think the guys on them are, as much as they would be grateful for certain grants, they want to earn their living by themselves because they feel a sense of independence, and that is a Tobago thing. So I am willing to assist them. I will provide the messages on to the relevant authorities so that they can push that era. I mean, when I think of a boat, is bring out the other 1,000,
Yes.
That is how we describe boats, Boats are extremely cost to maintain. And, the guys on them, I understand them, and I am willing to work with them and to assist them in wherever I can. All right.
So, Ricardo, in the final 30 seconds of this interview, any words of encouragement for those fishermen out there to participate in the upcoming training?
I want the fishermen to look at it as not a coming down on them. At the end of the day, there is a new regulation in terms of what your vessel must have, and it's a new regulation in terms of the TT number. This TT number will give that vessel nationality, it will give your vessel identity, and it will also make your vessel seaworthy in terms of what is required, especially when you're going to sea. So that is the aim behind this whole thing, really.
All right, so thank you very much there, Ricardo, for sharing with us this morning. Of course, and we want to remind and encourage all to make sure that they benefit from this upcoming opportunity being done in conjunction with the C School and the Tobago House of Assembly. And I think it's fitting, Ricardo, for me to close with the comments of one of our viewers this morning, Didan Daniel. Good morning. Kudos to Ricardo for the great work that he is doing out there. And imagine Ricardo is doing this work on his time out as an engineer from the port. Some of you may know him with the vessel and so on, with the Port Authority of Trinidad and Tobago. So all the best, Ricardo, and thank you very much for joining us on the Tobago Updates this morning. Viewers, in the next segment, we continue the conversation. Aria would be chatting with Curtis Douglas, President of the All Tobago Fisher Folk Association. For those of you joining us via the live, we want to remind you to continue to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Trinidad and Tobago, I am Nigel Paul, winner of a bronze medal at the recently concluded IABA World Boxing Championships for Men held in Serbia in the 92 plus kgs category. I got vaccinated to represent the red, white and black with distinction. So now I'm asking you, all citizens, to please get the vaccine. Do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for the country. We the athletes want to train every day and bring back medals for you. So don't hesitate, vaccinate today.
Citizens, get the vaccine for you, me and TNT. Don't hesitate. Vaccinate today. Kindly sponsored by NLCB, DeSalcott.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tapago. Your meals, medication, groceries and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tapago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tapago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tapago's at your service.
To all Tobagonians and visitors of this beautiful island, the Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is seeking your efforts and support in keeping a clean and organized, friendly environment. In doing so, drop-off bins are located at strategic areas around Tobago for your recyclable materials such as plastics, aluminum and steel cans, glass bottles and tetra packs in bags, and let's protect our environment. Our own Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is here to propel that change. Look for the white bin nearest to your area.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, morning. Welcome back this morning to the Tobago Updates morning show. Viewers, at this time we are chatting with Mr. Curtis Douglas, the president of the All Tobago Fisher Folk Association. And this morning it is the Fisher Folk, what we really want. Good morning and welcome to you this morning, Mr. Douglas.
Yes, good morning to Ria, good morning to the entire world, you know, Tobago, Trinidad, and the rest of the Caribbean and the world. Good morning to you again. It's a pleasure to have you on your show. It's a great pleasure. For the longest while I've been trying to get here, but finally I'm here.
Finally made it.
And I know Tobagonians and the fishing whole diaspora want to hear what I have to say this morning.
Definitely.
We have so much to get into this morning.
Definitely.
We have to be quite honest. I don't think we have enough time, but I think we could squeeze in a couple.
Let's see what happens. Now, we have here the Chief Secretary and the team, the new administration, just coming out of a 5-day retreat, listing several items, several areas of work, focusing as well on the Tobago Fisher Folk Association, or the fishermen, okay, the fishing industry in Tobago. Let's talk about some of the consultation that you would have had with the Chief Secretary or the Secretary for Fruit Production.
All right. First of all, I would like to say congratulations to Mr. Chavez and his team, Mr. Duke, the political leader of PDP, and the team for this landslide victory. So coming from the fisher folk, we have sent email, but we are doing publicly now, live. You know, congratulations to them.
Right.
In moving forward, I would have heard his speech or his first quarter low-hanging fruits in which he want to achieve. I'm pleased with some of the decision that he would have made.
Right.
All right, but when coming to the fishing industry, I'm very disappointed.
Why is that?
When you making or know the fishing industry, remember, let's make it very clear. On the campaign trail for 2021, they made it clear that they was going to fix fishermen, they will be able to represent fishermen. And when you telling us now without consulting with me, without consulting with the entire fishing industry, which
sorry,
I am...
we may have missed something. What do you mean without consulting?
Well, even informing me, having a conversation with us about what are the needs of the fishing community and the fisher folk.
So you're saying that there was no consultation with the Tobago Fisher Folk
That
Association?
conversation probably is yet to happen, but as I'm sitting here, it never happened. Not a phone call, not an email. Right? What we would have done as ATFA, we have came together executive, bring up some of the key issues, and we would have called, we would have sent a hard copy because we have sent email and they say they didn't receive it. We sent a hard copy to the office of the Chief Secretary, which is Finance, and they had replied to us, right? And we would have given the Chief Secretary the items, short-term, immediate short-terms and long-term item what we would like to achieve.
And how did he receive this? Was this verbally? Was this?
I am still with no. We have done it through a letter. We have penned a letter to his office, and I really was really surprised or taken back when he said, you know, all fishermen would have to go and learn to dive. I mean,
Let's talk about some of the areas of concern here for you coming out of the retreat. What are some of the key areas that the All Tobago Fisher Folk are concerned about?
The key areas, one, all right, which is the oil companies that we have in our waters. All right, we have an oil company goes by the name of BHP Billington, and BHP Billington would have damaged over 200 properties, fishing gears, by fisher folks that was not even compensated. We had no representation from the fisheries department. We had no representation. We had also fight on our own. And to date, these things are still outstanding. These are some of the things, main things we want, issues we would like resolve and representation as Tobagonian, as fisher folks to deal with in moving forward and establishing a good fishing community and a productive fishing community.
And you said that the Chief Secretary would have mentioned the issue of all fishermen learning to dive.
Yes.
Having to learn to dive. What is the issue with that?
The issue with that is the fact that he did not even consult the fisher folk to find out what are the key issues. I have no problem with learning to dive because, I mean, it's a society. But diving really is for marine affairs and stuff like that, but we don't mind.
Okay, what are the positives, in your opinion, that came out of the retreat then?
The positive that came out of the retreat, I must give kudos to the Honorable Chief Secretary for addressing the health issue with the workers, whereby you're giving them the 3-year contract. That is, I mean, that is one of the main stuff positive. And also, apart from the health workers, moving the boat up in, making it mandatory that the boat up in Belgrade has been moved.
Be removed, yes.
He's been done a lot of things. The only problem I have with the Chief Secretary coming out of the retreat is when he made the utterances that fishermen, all fishermen, would have to learn to dive.
But isn't it a plus? Doesn't it work in favor of the fisherman to learn to dive? I'm just asking. Things happen out at sea. I mean, we've had fishermen who've gone out to sea. We hear stories of who fell off the boat and who never came back.
Yeah. We have more pressing issues to deal with than taking an oxygen tank to go fishing with. Okay? Make no mistake, as I said, I have no problem with his initiative. But right now, presently, that is way in the back burner for fisher folk. I mean, you're talking about school at sea. I mean, right now, we need a rescue boat. That is what we need.
That's what we want to hear from you. What do you want that was not on the list?
I have on the list. We ask him for a rescue boat. We need data collection to have data to know if our fish, our species in this island is depleting from all of these exercise that these oil companies are creating. If there is bleaching in the water, how the amount of catch. These are things we need to do. Secondly, the next thing we need a better relationship with the fisheries department. We have people from the fisheries going around dividing fishing communities, trying to break up organization. We need to fix that. We need to clean the wound so that it could heal. We cannot just close up the wound just like that. It will be infected. We have to clean the wound first in order so that we'll be able to knit back neatly, properly, and more stronger than before. These are some of the things that we need to be done, right? So prior from that, we've been advocating for the longest while. We know radios, we don't want any radios. Radios are ineffective. We need something more sustainable. So we have a proposal, a plan we've been advocating for the longest while. We realize satellite phones are the way to go. We want satellite phones so that we will be able to track and to communicate with each fisherman, also partner with the Coast Guard and the police. So when you leave your area, when you leave as a fisher folk, you leave to go to sea, to ply your trade. If something should go wrong, you should be able to take up that phone and call your wife, call the police.
Weren't these things put in place under the previous administration?
No, we had a discussion, but nothing. Remember, we've been having this conversation over the previous administration for over 15 years.
Okay.
Over 15 years. Over 15 years. And that is why we in the fishing community is disappointed, right? Because what Mr. Chavez has done is what the previous administration have done. Not consult the fisher folks and believe they could give fisher folks what they think.
All right, we have a minute, less than a minute to wrap. What is it, because you represent the fisher folk in Tobago, what is it that you would like the administration to know at this point as it relates to what you want?
One, let me just make it clear since I have a minute. One, we need back our office and an MOU with the fisheries department. Two, we need our satellite to Sandshore program. Three, we need our rescue boat so that we could be able to meet any fisherman that is in distress, whether east, north, or south, or west. Four, we need that data collection program so that we could be able to know and calculate our GDP to know whether the fishing industry is gaining or losing, right? And four, we need we need a proper relationship with fisheries so that we could work together, build Tobago together. By the end of the day, I want Mr. Chavez to remember, he said, let's fix this. But we need to fix it together, not deciding for fisher folk what fisher folks need. We also know about all the...
you need the consultation.
We need that consultation and that cooperation and that unity so that we'll be able to build Tobago. The fishing industry in Tobago, as it stands, is a multi-billion-dollar industry, right? We need set nets. We need our set nets. That's a net whereby fishermen will be able to go out every day and get bait and control fish, right? All these things we need to done. So, and up to now, I didn't even touch the fact that as it stands yesterday, all Tobago fisher folks have launched a program whereby we are now teaching young men from the age of 18 to 30 to 35 how to make fish pots, how to mend nets, because this is the way we need to go. So we're creating entrepreneurs and all of this. So I said we don't have the time to even go through all these things. And this program had launched yesterday under ADFA. And in February, we are also launching a program which is called a seedling program, whereby like housewives and stuff like that who home or who interested, we are going to donate 100 seedling to our course. So we'll be able to try to curb that pressure that we have. So
all right. We understand it. Thank you so much for chatting with us this morning. You know, there's a saying, viewers, you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But what ADFA is doing is teaching people to fish to be able to feed them for a lifetime. We've got lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates Morning Show, viewers, so share the live, share the live, share the live. Or we go over to Devon Adana at this time.
This day
Over to you.
Tobago kicked off.
She's talking.
This day in Tobago history. Did you know that on January 11, 2020, Tobago kicked off its first ever gender-inclusive netball tournament? According to the tha.gov.tt website, 2 years ago today, 8 netball teams made up of both men and women converged on the Shore Park hardcourts to vie for an impressive first prize of $5,000. The mixed netball tournament was held by the NetAsh Foundation. The tournament was created by former Netball National Senior Player and Managing Director of NetAsh, Ms. Ashel Legal, who said the inspiration for the league came out of the foundation's Wednesday night Come Lewi Swetna gathering at Shore Park. The Wednesday session was a favorite among male and female netballers alike. Legal stated that the tournament had 2 purposes: to keep netball alive on the island and to identify new talent. 8 teams entered the competition: Dream Team, TNT Fire Services, Spartans, TNT Police Services, Elite Eagles, Z-Tech Ballers, and Mount St. George Police Youth Club. The knockout competition lasted a month, but it was Kerry Celestin and the Elite Eagles who emerged victorious. They played unbeaten throughout the tournament to keep the title out of Dream Team's hands by defending them 35-33. By defeating them, 35-33. The Elite Eagles were awarded the trophy and their prize on February 2nd, 2020. You've been watching This Day in Tobago History. We now take a commercial break. Lots more, so keep joining us and share the live.
Nicholson Richards to
Welcome
a top
to Tobago
story.
Update Sports. I'm your boy Marcus Daniel. Thank you.
Trinidad and looms as
remains when
the public is
nobody lives here. Oil and gas exploration continues to affect the livelihood.
Spearsides, marine
in Tobago fishermen.
When will the
Sion
Roxborough
Francis
Hospital be fully functional?
Of the 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. window at the island,
treasures like the Golden
continue
Waterfall
to rise in Tobago.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7:50 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Viewers, in this segment, we are chatting with Shana Conningham, YouTube influencer and author. And this morning we are chatting about the Inspire Journal Guide for 2022. Good morning, Shana Conningham.
A pleasant good morning to you and all of viewers today.
When I hear the name, and probably you have to tell me better, I make the Conningham connection. But tell us a little bit about who is Shana Conningham.
Well, I am a YouTuber / budding influencer, and I say budding because I recently started back my YouTube channel. So I am also an actress, a motivational speaker, and I incorporate a lot of my acting skills into my YouTube videos. And something you might not know is that I love baking, I love, writing, and I am pursuing my Bachelor's of Science in Accounting at the University of Southern Caribbean.
All right, so you're at the Tobago campus?
No, I am at the main campus in Trinidad, but I'm currently here because of the pandemic.
All right, excellent. So doing all that and still finding the time. So this morning we're zoning in, and it's actually the first time I'm hearing about the Inspire Journal, and you have me all excited about it. So let me not hesitate to allow you to share that conversation with our viewers. Tell us about this Inspire Journal guide for 2022.
So I created Inspire Journal Guide within about 4 months. So the Inspire Journal Guide is a book that's geared towards self-discovery and self-reflection, because I think that one of the most important things is understanding who you are as a person. So the book in itself, it features themes. So each month has a theme. So we all know that Valentine's Day is associated with February and love. I went to the grocery the other day and I saw chocolate and everything that's there. So in my book, February actually is about loving yourself and appreciating who you are as a person. So the book has a lot of activities that you can do throughout the entire year.
Oh, nice. And I like the fact that it speaks to the quote of the month, their reflection questions, and then their activities to engage. So it's not just a book that you provide updates at, and just in case you forget, viewers, there are actually spaces and areas, and I think we ought to show the viewers so that they get a better sense. If they can zone in here, so that they get a better sense in terms of identifying. So tell us about these areas that are required for persons to complete and to fill out on a monthly basis.
So in March, I even shared this with one of my customers. They asked me, okay, so tell me about August. So I'm like, okay, well, August is all about self-control. There are certain aspects of ourselves that we ought to know and understand about. So the entire book features different questions and even activities. So even in February, it has a section that talks about affirmations. So you have to fill out a crossword puzzle. I'm not going to give any of the answers for the crossword puzzle, but you have to fill out a crossword puzzle, and then the activity that complements the crossword puzzle itself literally is like write some affirmations. So let's say one of the answers is enough. I am enough. So you can tell yourself that every single morning, and it has different answers that you could find inside the book.
So I want to jump to the favorite month of the year, May. That's May, folks. May, to be very specific, the 22nd. So let's go to May. Tell us about May a bit. I see the quote here speaking about nurturing yourself, treating with mental health and the relevant activities. Tell us a little bit about May.
Your mental health is such an important aspect of how you feel. So it affects how you think, how you feel, how you process every single thing. So May is literally all about defining your emotional self, your psychological self, your spiritual self, and just understanding your mental level and your mental makeup. That's what May is completely all about.
So May speaks to mental in terms of looking at your mental health.
Yeah.
And what would have motivated you to be able to find what I would discuss as the inspiration for these various months?
Well, I'm a YouTuber, and I would have last year, late September, I would have actually started writing newsletters, and I just wanted to do a bit more, because the newsletters were geared towards motivating those people who, they're not feeling their best in school, because school is kind of hard sometimes. So the book itself, I was like, what else can I do? And this is where the inspiration for the book actually came. I worked in a bookstore, and I saw a lot of people, they buy journals at the end of the year and the beginning of the year. So I said, yeah, this is something right here.
Tell us about, just as we look to wrap, self-control is strength, and we're talking to August.
That's my favorite month.
So tell us about that area in terms of specific I like the area that speaks about self-control. Why August?
Well,
are we speaking a little bit about the personality here?
Yeah, well, I feel like sometimes we have to understand we can't control everything in life. For example, the pandemic. We can't control the pandemic, and we didn't control the pandemic. So I feel like we really and truly have to understand the different aspects of our lives that we can control and that we cannot control, so that you'll be able to, I guess, process things a bit better. Because when you fully understand what you can control and what you can't control, I think you could go through life a bit easier.
All right, before the viewers get upset with me and we're out of time, where can they find Inspire Journal Guide 2022? When is the stocks coming in?
Well, it should come in probably a bit later this month. So you could just contact me directly if you'd like to pre-order the book at my contact at 707-6572, or you can check out my Instagram. That's Inspired by Shana, because that's the name of my brand. Or you could visit my website, which is inspiredbyshana.company.site, and you have to put in your dots, or else you wouldn't find your website. No spaces.
All right, so go again. Make sure and repeat that for them precisely, because you have to put in the dots.
Yes, inspiredbyshana.company.site. No spaces, and ensure to put in the full stops.
All right, and you could see the calm and the comfort here, very easygoing. Which high school did you attend, Shana?
I went to Harmon School of Seventh-day Adventist.
All right, Harmon School of Seventh-day Adventist, and we see Judah getting excited there. Yes, all of you out there, good morning to all of you going to Harmon's and the entire alumni. And I see Miss Verna Simon Frederick getting excited out there. That energy and that support for youth development. All right, we want to thank you very much again, Shana, for joining us this morning on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. Viewers, we want to remind you to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business
I know, right?
with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Good morning, good morning, put a smile on your
John Boy, I got a call and they're asking me to talk to the nation, talk to people and tell them about getting vaccinated. Yeah. I'm not sure if I should or if it's the right thing for me to tell someone to get vaccinated.
Yeah, but you just came out from Tobago.
Yeah, and 3 of my friends passed. And that's when I realized, I really need to say something.
Similarly here, I have an insulin-dependent son, and so I had to get all my kids vaccinated. I didn't have a choice.
I made the choice because of my parents. But the question is, what or who do you love more than yourself for you to make the choice to protect yourself or protect them from you? Trouble again!
Trinidad and Tobago, let's stop the spread of COVID-19. Vaccinate today.
I'm Patricia Nicholson.
put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. And you see my head down in the screen checking out there. Want to shout out this morning Gail, Lashley, Ula Hazel, Donna Anderson, Biana Brebner, hey, my classmate, Roger Nurse, Didi, Solange, Vincent, Grace Stanley, Nefa Mills, Russell Morrison, all of you joining us on the live. Good morning, morning. Cindy Taylor, Sharon Mills, the entire team out there, Lisel James, Latoya Anderson, thank you so much for continuing to show us the love and support here on the Tobago Updates Morning Show. And in fact, thank you all so much for the support we've seen thus far for the news that began last night at 7:30, coming again on Wednesday and Friday, 7:30 on Tobago Updates.
And we'd like to say thank you this morning for a background to Mr. Kerry Walcott. Excellent, beautiful, breathtaking, if I'm not mistaken, Speyside.
Yes.
Speyside, there you go, beautiful Tobago, I tell you. We live where people dream of vacationing.
Certainly, certainly.
All right.
And you know, I want to suspect, as we shout out Kerry this morning, that inspiration obviously comes from the wife herself, Anisha, my very good friend out there. All right, so we want to say morning, and Kerry Walcott, excellent job here in terms of representing Tobago. And you see Ria's excitement because of you know, where she resides, close to that Speyside area.
That's right.
She's happy to showcase and to highlight.
That's right. Beautiful. One of the beautiful things about living in the East is that when you are at home, you are at home. You can de-stress, you can take it all off, take it all down, and just chill. Very far from the West, okay, from the town, from the city. But we are really happy that you were able to join us today. We've got lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates morning show tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. It's all happening. So we've got a really great program planned for Friday. We are going to the East.
Wow.
Yes, so it is breakfast with the chief.
Wow, Ria, I'm now finding that out on set. And I'm all smiles because I'm smiles for the breakfast first and then the chief. But that'll be an excellent day. We're looking forward to that on Friday.
Definitely. And it gives the team an opportunity to wake up even earlier.
Ria, we might have to reverse time. So I'm not going to have to wake up at 4 when you can wake up closer to the hour.
That's right. I plan on doing that, you know. So it's Breakfast with the Chief coming up on Friday. You do not want to miss that show. So thank you so much for joining us today. Have a great day. Stay safe on the roads. And we will see you tomorrow. So we encourage you to wear your mask, okay, and to sanitize and to socially distance. Bye-bye.
All right, bye-bye.
Take the mask off your face and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning, good morning, morning. Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanna share my love, but it's gotta be with someone